They say, where bees are, there is honey. We say, where Mr. Haidar and Mr. Majid are, there is creativity.
Yes, thanks a lot.
They say, thank you so much. They say, all roads lead to Rome. We say, all roads lead to you.
Thanks a lot.
The stage is yours. Of course, today we have been honored with the visit there to us, to our academy, by the greatest trainers here in Iraq. One of the greatest trainers in Iraq. We have Mr. Majid from Simawa. They are my friends, my colleagues, and my teachers. And Mr. Haidar, also one of the greatest trainers here.
Thank you very much.
We need here to take more benefit from them. We start something about methods of teaching. So the first idea we wish to raise here is teaching kids. Because this is something basic. We start with kids and teaching kids. We start with Mr. Haidar first. Mr. Haidar, what do you think? What are the best methods or approaches that should be manipulated by most teachers in teaching kids?
Thanks really that for meeting us in your academy.
Okay.
And may Allah bless you and bless your project.
Thank you
And
so much.
serving society, serving people, and just spreading knowledge around. Really that very important question and very important topic, that teaching English to kids. And really that, as you know, that when we're talking about kids, we should just limit or tell the age of the kids, what age we're talking about.
Yeah.
For example, that in our schools, that when we're talking about the kids and teaching English to kids, we'll put in our minds that we're starting from the first grade in primary school.
Yes.
So is that the right age or the right time for kids to be exposed to English, or there should be another age, which is we're talking about preschool?
Yeah.
So English, where does it start? The question.
Good. This is the best question.
Yes, where should we start teaching English to kids? And just primary school, the first grade, or a preschool?
Preschool.
Yes, that the problem with most of the kids right now around Iraq, perhaps in Kurdistan the matter differs, but I'm talking about Iraq, from Baghdad or from Mosul to south of Iraq to Basra. We started teaching kids, that expose them to English in primary school, first grade.
Yeah.
So we started the ABCs, the A, B, C, the alphabet letters, and then we give them words and teaching them the phonics, not teaching them how to pronounce the letters.
The letters.
We teach them phonics, for example,
Phonics.
A,
Yeah.
B, B.
Wow.
Yes, this is what we call, and we start by really that we are just the time for them to realize English, to understand English, to practice it as a language, as a second language.
Yeah, second.
Second
Not foreign?
language, not foreign language.
Yeah,
We
second.
can develop English in kids as a second language. Okay, not bilingual, it's impossible in Iraq.
It's impossible.
But as a second language, if we start teaching them English preschool.
So, Mr. Haidar, sorry for interruption here. The audience want to know what's the most suitable age or the best age to teach kids at 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, if we say that, what age really that we should start with 1 year?
1 year.
1 year.
Don't you think that there will be interference
between
the two languages
I
because they have it mastered?
Yes, I agree with Mr. Haidar.
Sorry,
at this point,
Mr. Majid?
Yeah, Mr. Majid.
What's your specialty and what organization you belong to?
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
well,
This is the red card.
I agree with Mr. Haidar. I think he wants to say that it is a matter of acquiring language. It is not a matter of learning. What Mr. Haidar is talking about, he wants to say that language in this case should be acquired,
not learned,
as his native language. That's why he said that we should not start from let's say learning them letters and words, and so in the same way the child acquires his native language. So this is applicable to the learning, we don't say learning, we say acquiring,
Acquisition.
acquisition,
Acquiring language.
acquiring
So we
language.
come to this point which is important here.
Yes.
So we have
So-
acquisition process
and
versus learning process.
Learning. So what Mr. Haider is talking about, he wants to say that it is a matter of what?
Acquisition,
not a matter of
second,
learning.
not
That's
form.
why he said
Yes.
the best age for learning English is
The
what?
1 year.
1 year.
Good. So may someone
one year. Why 1 year is age for
It's
acquisition, not
just
for learning.
it's necessary or critical. It's very crucial for them
Good.
to acquire language.
Yeah,
So
there's I think there is what
Maybe I'm exaggerating.
yeah. No.
in
It's perfect.
linguistics in general, there is a point called what is critical point, critical period.
Period. Yeah.
It is the time or the when the brain is ready for acquiring language.
Language. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you more about the critical period. If you
Yeah.
explain it,
Oh,
please.
okay. Yeah,
Yes,
it's
critical
okay. You
period
can.
said that kids since the age of 3 or 2, perhaps since 1 till 6, or since what we call since infancy or birth till 6 or 5 years old, they have what we call the critical period. They can learn through senses. What they touch, they learn.
Yeah.
What they hear, they learn. What they feel, they learn. So that when they pass it through experiences and pass it through life, they would acquire language
Yeah.
through senses.
Through senses.
Very important.
This hark back to Chomsky's theory of innateness. Means
Yes.
that the language when we were born,
It is built.
It's built.
It's built.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
built
It's
in
here
our-
in our mind.
in our
after
minds, yes.
after that, they would start thinking that their imagination would work.
Good.
So then, let's get back to our starting point, which is that primary school.
Yeah.
Primary school, that kids start with 7 years old, right?
6.
Then their critical
Maybe-
period
yeah.
ended.
Yeah.
So they, what we call the second language chance ended.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yes. Good.
So then they are learners.
Good. Mr. Haider, may someone raise this question in order to make the long story short? Someone. He said that till now the child hasn't acquired his first language, which is the native
language.
For example,
His mother tongue, you want to say.
mother tongue.
Yes.
Let us say yes, great. So the Arabic one.
Yes.
And now he hasn't got his Arabic one, and now another language. So there will be interference, and this kind of interference may be negative, because in this case, if he will learn something about the rules of grammar in English and Arabic, for example, let's
For
say,
example.
when he will grow up, he will say kutubs. He says books, kutubs. He will
And
try
we say-
to
we say
pluralize.
bukat,
Yeah,
bukat.
bukat, yeah. We have certain figures here in Iraq. I have met them. They say something like this because their father was specialized in English, so he
His
started
mother's
learning
Arabic
English.
and his father is English.
Yeah, he said kitubs. So don't you think that there will be interference, and this kind of interference will be negative? So don't, for example, you say something that you exaggerate the matter when you say, for example, that we should start with kids when they are just 1. I think this is very critical.
You mean that when we're starting with kids since childhood, for example, 1 or 2 years?
You
that
chase
would
2 rabbits here.
that would be very important for them. The theories and the theorists say that
Yeah.
kids can grow or develop
More
more than
3, 4, 5 languages maybe.
That would be
At the same
multilingual,
time.
multilingual
Yes.
kids.
Yes.
So language is just like muscles inside. By the way, there is a theory which is that knowledge in the muscles, knowledge not in the brain, not in the heart, knowledge in the muscles.
Yeah.
That language acquired through the muscles.
Muscles, yeah.
So this is what it calls. So it grows that a kid.
In what
can
sense?
grow-
So in what sense it is found in muscles?
Yeah, they say that because it's acquired through the movements, through the tongue. I mean that's not.
You won't
through
say
imagination.
that. You won't say that. You mean? Do you think that this is related to the articulators? You mean muscles?
Organs of speech, you mean?
I mean.
The organs?
Organs of speech, that it happens that naturally in human beings. They start and just, I mean that they would pronounce language, they just listen, and
Yeah.
then they try to produce.
Imitate.
This
Imitate.
back to imitation of scanner behaviorism.
Yes.
Yeah, because the behaviorism, this is something
Well,
important. I told you that things
I
will
agree.
come.
I agree too much to Mr. Haider because we sometimes find so many kids or children they master to more than 3 languages, and this is very usual, especially for the Iraqis who immigrated to America.
Yeah.
When they go back to Iraq, they speak 2 languages, Iraqi Arabic language.
Maybe because they have already mastered the Arabic, so when they go there, they will learn another language.
Yes. I think the idea you said, the mixture or the interference of languages, I think it is not so important.
It's not so. By the way, I mean here the main point is that the effect. Don't you think that learning 2 languages at the same time when you are just 1 year will affect badly the mother tongue which we need?
Give me an example.
Yeah.
What happened that we say that the people or kids with wrong grammar or commit errors, just like you said that they would use the pluralization of English
to
Arabic.
Yeah.
This is what they call the group grammar. And the way they do grammar is something they couldn't understand it.
Yeah, that's great.
And when you just correct it once, twice, they would do the right thing.
Great.
So that means they're learning.
Good. In this case, you both agree upon one point that the suitable age. Yeah.
The most important, not suitable.
The
most critical.
Age to master or to acquire 2 languages, 2 crucial
It is a matter of acquisition.
As
I told you, it's a matter of acquisition.
They can acquire 5 languages, 6, 2, 3, it depends.
Since birth till 5 years, 6 years.
It's a suitable age for them. So without affecting the mother tongue badly.
No, but there wouldn't be anything like mother tongue.
Yeah.
All of them would be mother tongues.
Yeah.
All of them.
All of them. Yeah.
They wouldn't understand. For example, listen. A person whose mother is Persian.
Yeah.
His father is Arabic.
Yes.
And they live in an English environment. They would acquire 3 languages naturally.
Good.
They will speak 3 languages as mother tongues. That person, when he grow up, would speak to the mother Persian and to the father Arabic, and would use English in a school or on the street.
Yeah.
His English would be very perfect. His Persian would be very perfect as well.
So,
perhaps the father but still it's in blood.
It's clear now. Thank you so much. So I will be back to another point, which is, do you think that age has vital role in learning, let us say now? For example, someone will come that I have just letters and I hardly can read certain, or I can hardly read certain words. Do you think that when someone will come and his age is 30, it's easy for him to learn
English?
Or another language, foreign?
I think that this question should be directed to Mr. Majid. That's because he's got more.
Well, I think though such ages or people such as that are going to encounter some difficulties in learning English, learning language in general, but I think it is not so important. Because though he masters his native language, and this is going to affect to a great extent his learning in new language, especially or particularly English. I think learning English is a matter of habit. So if in the age of 30, if in the age of 30 he can master any other profession, let's say, don't say for example English language, for example any profession, like for example tailor or something, to be a tailor, or maybe any kind, for example.
Great. So I have understood you. So in this case, because you are specialized,
though he's going to find or to encounter some difficulties, but it's not impossible for him to learn
another language. Good. So age is just a number, not an issue. Let us say. Good. Great. So because you are specialized in methods.
There is something. It is a matter of what we call it is a matter of desire.
Yeah.
Yeah. In this case, a matter of desire. If he has a desire to learn English, though he's 50, he's going to learn English.
Good.
And we have.
Or need, let us say.
Yes, the need is.
Yeah, because there's English proverb which said necessity is the mother of invention.
Yes.
So if he feels that he is in need of this language, he
In
will
this
learn
case,
it. Yes. Great. So back to the point when you say language is a habit, and you reminds me of habit formation. Part of the theory of behaviorism, which is very famous in methods of teaching, of Skinner, stimulus, response, and the three elements of behaviorism like imitation, repetition, which is the mother of all skills, and we have memorization. Don't you think that here behaviorism as a theory has its yardsticks, has its influence on methods of teaching? It's vital.
Of course.
Has vital role.
Yeah, of course, it has a vital role, and it has a very important point and a big effect and influence in such point. Because how do we learn English?
Yeah.
We learn English through what? Through
imitation.
Through imitation, through hearing. We just first, for example, we listen English.
Yeah.
Then we imitate, and we speak through imitation. It is the same way
and then we memorize.
When we want to learn any other profession.
Yeah.
It is a matter of behavior.
Behavior. Yeah. So behavior is something more. So I have been left with two questions here. One will be directed to Mr. Haidar, and one to you. And you can share the same question if you like. Good. The first one is that that anyone who wants to direct his steps towards mastering English will come with certain mistakes or errors. It depends. If it's something connected with competence, then this is an error. If it is with performance, it's a mistake. Whatever was the matter, let's say errors. So, we have a concept in methods of teaching called correction of errors. We have different methods, different approaches. Tackle this matter. What do you think, Mr. Haidar? Now imagine that I have started to learn English. Of course, I'm expected to come with certain errors during my journey learning English. How can you deal with the matter if I will commit an error? And can you divide here the error if it was in grammar or pronunciation, or you will give it to the same importance? Because you should differentiate here between what's called the major errors and the minor errors. So the field is yours now.
Regarding learners, the language learners, really this is a really great question to be discussed. Most of the learners would fear their participation in everyday classes. They're hesitant. They would commit some mistakes or commit some. They would just stumble in words and how to express it. And they just fear the others to laugh at them, to mock at them, because of that. So particularly if it's a co-educational class, there'll be girls and boys in the same class. They will laugh at each other. So the question is that what we do, really that the teacher at first should put his or her rules inside the class. For example, no laughter. Yes, no laughter. Whatever mistakes are committed or done or whatever happened in the class, everybody should speak or participate. There will be any person silent.
To break the ice of fear and shyness.
Yes, that would make things easy.
Yeah.
And as you know, that group and peer work and the round table or such things, that would make it easier for the class to go on, to continue in such a participation class.
Yeah.
So then students should have, that will cover mistakes. For example, pronunciation mistakes.
Yeah. Common.
Yeah, very common.
And
that's because it's
a major one.
Yes, that's because they pronounce words the way they think they are. Not listening to native speakers and repeating after the native speaker, and even the speaking environment around them, mostly Arabic. Perhaps sometimes that the teacher themselves wouldn't pronounce words well, and they eliminated their teachers.
Great.
So such errors would happen naturally inside the class. So everything is accepted.
Good.
You can correct words directly when they're when you just particularly if you are a very good teacher, or a person who would like words to be pronounced very perfect.
Yeah.
You would just stop. You can't understand. You just stop. You can't understand. You can't hold yourself patient from correcting the words. You would just directly stop the student and say, please, that word just. If you got what we call a reading test or a reading exam, or a speaking one, and you give a chance for each student or each learner inside the class to speak English for about, for example, 1 minute or 2 minutes. Then you listen to them about a piece of speech or a piece of writing, and you listen to them. Okay, give them chance to finish, to express their idea, to express what they memorize, and then you put in your mind or with the paper or just the words they commit, and you write them on the board and say, look at the words. They're pronounced in such a way.
So in this case, correction of errors should be, should be at the end.
Sometimes that it's directly.
The trainer or the teacher should wait till the speakers or the learners finish their speech.
If you stop them all the time,
shouldn't be direct or immediate.
That student wouldn't participate once more. And once again, that would be silent.
Yes. Good. Great, Mr.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Haidar.
So you agree with him?
Yes,
that we shouldn't be direct or immediate?
I just want to add something to what Mr. Haidar has just said. Yes, in fact, thank you very much. Yes.
So
Iraq.
What organization would want to?
That's a riddle. Yes.
Yes, in Iraq, through the previous years, there are so many methods of teaching that are applied in Iraq. They start with the grammar translation method, and then the audiolingual method, structural method, and now they apply the communicative approach or
CLT.
Yes, CLT. In fact, maybe most of the previous methods of teaching are about correcting mistake. They are about what is called accuracy. Yes, they focus on what accuracy. But in communicative approach, teacher is what is not he in the previous lecture he's what. He's like, let's say he's the master of the situation. Okay, he works as an actor, advisor, facilitator for things.
Facilitator.
Yes, facilitator. That's why I think he should encourage his students for what. I agree with Mr. Haidar. Courage is very important in this stage. Because most of our students they do not have the courage to talk, to speak, because of fear of English, because they feel that they are going to commit mistakes. That's why they hesitate. They are fond of the idea that they are going to make mistakes. That's why I think the good teacher in CLT should put in his mind he is a facilitator, and he should wait for his students until they finish everything, and he then because here we are about what? Fluency. We are not about accuracy.
We are fluency. Good.
Yes.
So in this case, both Mr. Majid and Mr. Haidar agree upon one point as for correction of errors, that the teacher or the good teacher should wait till the learners finish their speech or their activity.
By the way, if you, for example, if the students or learners are after taking a course in reading or a course in speaking,
it depends. So
yes, so that depends.
So there is exception.
Yes,
certain exception. There are certain exceptions.
A matter of integration. That's why we do not say grammar or reading or listening. I think
I'm good. So we agree upon one point that correction of errors shouldn't be direct or immediate. Okay, this is the point.
Sometimes be ignored.
Of course, ignored.
Ignored.
Yes, sometimes ignored. Especially the minor ones. Imagine that.
Minor ones.
I expect just this. For example, I find that in the first stage, my students, they try to always to pronounce the suffix ed as in asked, not te, but as asked.
They
I
don't
will not tell them as such later on, because this is for them it's minor station. But for example, the word ignore, they say ignore. They will pronounce the G as J. No, in this case, sometimes I should say it's ignorance. So I try to say that this is, so just to be what? A habit formation.
You mean that when the error or the mistake they committed would change the meaning or make it strange, you would correct it directly. But sometimes when it doesn't matter whether it's pronounced correctly or it's just 50% or 70% correct. Then it's okay.
Even the mistake or the mistake is what is an important one. I think it should be delayed.
By the way, sometimes a good teacher will predict the student's error. Imagine that when I'm teaching, someone tell me, I cannot hire you. So he said, so I expect what here that the word hire is here. I can't hear you.
No.
What's hire? It means to rent something. So
sometimes you can't correct them without the. So do you hear now? Do you hear me? So he knows.
It depends.
Yes.
Yeah. And by the way, it said that the best way to correct error sometimes you can ask for the hire. So you can tell other students or other trainees that this word has been pronounced by your colleague as higher. Do you agree with him? Someone will say it is here. Sometimes we say something like, then do you agree with this? Do you agree with this? Later on, now all of them will be stimulated.
Yes.
So later on, we'll give them, if one of them will answer me correctly, I will say this is the correct one, and I will try to tell them to repeat it 3 times.
Yes.
Or if there is no right answer, I will give the right answer. So it depends sometimes on the situation.
Yes.
Great, thank you so much. Let's back to the last point here also. Let's go to the last point. There's something important, crucial. I'm quoting Mr. Haidar terminology. The use of native language, the mother tongue. Do you think here it means that, especially in the old theories, the native language is used frequently, especially according to the grammar translation approach, and even the old ways as for the syllabus in Iraq, they use the native language frequently. So, do you think that the teacher should use the native language? I mean, this point,
yes,
Mr. Maj.
Yes, I think most of scholars and maybe teachers of English agree that the communicative approach is the best way for teaching English, and it is sometimes they call it is eclectical. You know, eclectical. You can't elect what is good in other approaches, not even eclectic approach. Maybe you feel that there's a certain principle and there's a good thing in the direct method or the grammar translation method. It is workable here. You can't take it.
It depends.
It depends. Yes, that's why in this kind of this approach, the teacher is an actor, and when you are a good actor, in this case you are going to lessen the use of your native language. Reduce and lessen.
Reduce or lessen.
Yes, right. the use of your native language. But there is a good saying, I respect it too much. It is said that when you feel that your mother tongue, saves time and effort,
that's great.
Use it. And there's another word says that use your native language sparingly. Like a spare tire in your car. When you feel that you need a spare, for example, for a certain mistake or for, let's say you have a flat tire, in this case you are going to open the...
So we can include that, and as for native language, we use the native language when it is necessary.
Let me give
to save time and effort.
Let me give you an example. Once upon a time, there was a teacher. She's a teacher of English. She wants to express the meaning or to tell the students about to ask the students about the meaning of sweat. And she sweat, she dramatized. They couldn't understand the meaning. That she tries
different, for example, objects, body language.
But still the students
vague. For them.
But still the student couldn't grasp the meaning of the word.
Good.
And then she takes her skirt and began to sweep the floor of the class. I think she doesn't need to reach such point. She can say, for example, to translate the word in Arabic.
It will become clear.
Yes, in this case, she's going to save time and effort.
Good. This is great.
I think
so. We use the native language when it is necessary to save time
sparingly.
Sparingly.
That's why. Yes, but in fact, we should be English teachers, and we should use English maybe 100%.
900%. That's very
I
good.
don't
Thank you.
want
Do you want to comment, or shall I raise for you a point which you have raised before?
Just
It's called the
add
teaching.
something
Yeah.
to Mr. Majid.
You have something?
Yes, I
Great.
have a question for you.
Yeah.
So, do you have a governmental job?
He has many jobs. Even here, he's working with us. Great. You have raised a point, Mr. Haider.
Just one thing. Then,
Another?
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
the same question directed to him. I can add to.
Yeah,
Okay.
great.
But
So
also
pleasure.
the same question.
So pleasure. Yeah.
Yes, and it depends on the age. So, age. As I told, are they kids or children? Or they adults?
Good.
Adults or middle-aged people?
So it depends.
It depends.
Good.
But remember that even middle-aged people or all people would need you acting outwards.
I think it is
It's
not
a clownish
not
teacher.
Haider, right?
Clown teaching.
Yeah.
You're just the clown of the class sometimes.
But it is not the time of age. It is the time of the type of the word.
Yes.
There
For
are some,
example,
for example,
would you-
if the word it is easy to be dramatized and to be
just
acted.
listen, please.
Okay.
For example, there are students or learners of a foreign language in a class. They passed the level of learning and they can speak and they need more knowledge to develop or to make the progress. Okay, for example, they know how to speak English,
Of course.
and they're taking another course, which is, for example, business
Advanced,
course.
let's say.
Oh, advanced course.
Yeah.
Or their specialty.
Yeah.
They don't need you sometimes to act outwards to make them grasp the meaning. Whenever they want it, just choose the method tone. Give them another word in English.
Yeah.
I mean, that just give them the meaning in English. If they couldn't understand, write it on the board and let them go and check the meaning. If the idea, the lesson doesn't depend on it, you are passing. As you know, this is language. When you are speaking or writing, you are passing through a lot of words. If they don't understand some of them, they can go and check them in the dictionary. It's their job. And once again, it depends on the learners themselves. Are they really desirous to learn English? Or are they just, it's a burden on them? If it's a burden on them, and you are sure that they are not going to go to the dictionary and check the words, give them the words to save time and save effort. For them,
Great.
not for you.
Yeah.
But if you know that they want to learn, don't give them the meaning in Arabic.
Yeah.
They are on your mother tongue.
In Arabic,
Let them
yeah.
go and check for them to be. That they're qualified to do it. I'm talking about adults.
Yeah.
About kids. Really, that I'm teaching kids.
Yeah.
For 3 years, really. But the last year, I dedicated myself for teaching kids. Really, I used Arabic in the class for about 10% or 20%.
That's
Believe
great.
me.
Yes.
Regardless of the level.
Because kids from
Because
first
even-
primary to fifth primary, 10 or 20%. I would load, for example, videos on their channel.
Yeah.
I would explain words in Arabic, but
Yeah.
in the class, totally, perhaps sometimes, English.
Yeah.
And the first and second primary, most of the words, English. The question is why? That's because they don't have a mother tongue language. They don't have Arabic.
Yeah.
They're not. Their words. It's just qaduri and things like that, and daran.
Yeah.
They don't have language. So when you use English, you are giving them more words than what they have in Arabic.
Maybe yes.
Right?
Right.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Of course, today it was our pleasure. The last question?
There will be another question.
Are you ready?
I know it.
If you give me the chance, I will say till morning.
Okay.
Great. There is something important you have raised here. Of course, a lot of things. Each idea you have raised is a seminar by itself. You have raised something which is called laughter or something like this. There's theory which is called sugar-coated ball theory, which means what? Teaching through delight. Learners or trainees should learn both the delightful and the useful. Do you agree with this? Do you think this is something crucial or vital? Teaching through delight?
Yes. It depends. The same thing. For example, when I taught in college, unfortunately, that students in Iraq will respect sometimes what we call the rigid and stiff teacher. They will respect him, and they would just study for him, not for the material. Oh, please, that teacher would just punish us, and would just get us out of the class, or would fail. I mean, that would lose a lot of marks in the subject they teach. So let's study for that teacher. He's a very stiff teacher, okay? And most of the learners, you wouldn't find only few that would be bothered because of your stiffness or rigidity, right? And if you were just funny, and even the school will say that he's not a good teacher, that's because he laughs and make jokes and make him fun inside the class, and the students, they would love you, but wouldn't respect your subject. They wouldn't study.
Yes, I relate what you have just said for what is called the good characteristics of teachers. Yes, a good teacher should make his lesson enjoyable. Without making his lesson enjoyable, so he is not a teacher.
So you agree with this theory, which is an old one in criticism, and later on it has been imposed in teaching methods.
If we divide,
the question, do you think that Iraqi people are funny people?
No.
So how can you be funny?
You can. As a teacher, it is something related to you. We can divide our students in Iraq in general maybe into types. For example, let's say there are some students who want to learn English for the sake of English, like those who enter, for example.
And give me the percent. How many are they?
Without giving the percent.
It depends from culture to another, from university to another.
Yes, we have students in government.
But we need this, Mr. Haider. You need to create.
Yes, we have students in governmental schools.
But respect should be all.
Yes, in governmental schools. Those students, in fact, the teacher in those schools, he does not have the freedom in his does not have such good
teachers or students.
Teachers, they do not have good area for him to move. You know, because he is limited by the type of exam. That's why he prepares his students for the sake of success, and that's all. That's why he do not have enough time. Okay, he is limited by the material. Okay, the time. That's why he's not going to be a creative one.
Yes.
And this will be reflected on his students.
For example, for example, through the course that you've got a book and you've done your best and just a great effort to make your students speak the foreign language. While you didn't finish the book from the cover to the I mean, from the first to the end, you didn't end the book. You've just reached half of the book, the school book, and then the supervisor will come and check the notebooks and the books of the students, and will discover that you haven't finished yet, and you'll be punished, even if he could speak to your students English, using all the English, and they could understand and respond to him, you wouldn't be rewarded for that. You'll be punished. So it's the regime.
Is the third type I want to talk about those who's learning English for special purposes. Those who want to travel, those who maybe who are going to maybe to enter master degree, to take master degree in English.
On certain specialties,
so
like medicine.
It depends. Yes.
Great. Thank you so much. Of course, we have been honored today with the visit by Mr. Haider and Mr. Majid. Thank you so much for this heated discussion.